All right, this might sound crazy, but I think the best time to date is when you're in a relationship. And this is solidified by The Ultimatum on Netflix. Let's get into it. So, as I'm also on this dating journey, I realized that when you really don't have or don't feel pressure to be in something, you can just be yourself. It's so natural, normal, and easy to show up as you. And I don't think that it's impossible to do when you're like, really interested in dating someone and it's just this one person that you're interested in, blah, blah, blah. But I think when you just have one, which kind of goes back to the roster a little bit, you feel like you have more to lose and it's higher stakes because you don't want to lose that person. And so you're on your best behavior, you're showing the best sides of you, you're showing up in a way that confirms, I guess, your eligibility. Whereas if you are already in a situation or a relationship, it's just you're only really entertaining people you actually like. Like you're not desperate. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is the mentality. When you're just out here single and you're really trying to be in something and you just don't want to be alone, I think that you're kind of operating from a scarcity mindset. So you don't want to lose out on anything. And I think that that's probably represented in a lot of different ways in life, not just dating. Like even with looking for a job, it's better to look for a job when you have a job because you're not as desperate. It's like, hey, I already have something, but I'm looking to see if there's something better. And don't mistake this for, when you're in a committed relationship, just start cheating. But during the dating stages, have that surplus mentality, even if it's not a surplus. Like I have at this point decided I don't necessarily want a roster, but if somebody comes along and I'm like, wow, I think we really align and it's like no pressure, I'm not looking for it, because I feel like sometimes when you're just single, you might be looking for something that might not be there. And that has absolutely happened to me in the past where I think I like someone, but I realize, nope, I just wanted a boyfriend or I just wanted a Netflix and chill buddy. And I kind of created the illusion of, whatever it is I'm saying you are in my brain so that I can justify it. Like, let me justify you being my person for now because, I can kind of imagine it. And as I was binge watching, guilty pleasure watching The Ultimatum, which is a kind of chaotic show, it has some good takeaways when you actually dive in a little bit. You realize that some of these people can actually find a little relief in the person that they've been presenting for however many years because they want to get married or whatever, and they find relief with this new partner, this trial partner, because they don't really have anything to lose. Like they have somebody already, so They can really just show up, say what they want to say without fear of rejection or fear of breaking up. Because even if, you're the one who did not issue the ultimatum and you received it, you probably still love this person. And you might not feel super comfortable being so honest and transparent because you don't want to hurt this person's feelings or your partner's feelings because you love them, blah, blah, blah. But with your new partner, it's not that you don't care about their feelings, but their feelings don't affect your actions as much. Like, you're not gonna behave and perform the same way or communicate probably the same way as you would in your own relationship because there's less weight. So to clear that up, don't cheat. But if given an opportunity, if you decide to go on a reality show to figure out if you should marry or move on, I think you might actually learn something. Maybe I should do something like that with Date IRL. I don't know how that would really work, but it's just, I think, so important to have actual options and not feel like if you don't choose now or if you don't choose this person, you won't have an opportunity to do so. Because I think that a lot of people probably get in relationships just, a little insecure. Not secure that they're really gonna find better or find exactly what they're looking for, so they settle on, things that they're okay with. And I think that that's always plagued me, always been a problem. Like, I don't want to really compromise. Like, I know that this is just a relationship and it's not marriage, but there are certain things that I think should be easy. Like, I think having conversations, being honest, doing all just friend things should come easy, because I don't want to feel like I never want to feel like I can't be myself. And so I resent people that I've chosen because I've had that scarcity mindset in the past, which is why I've been single for so long, and why I feel like I should have been single, honestly, my entire life. Because you really do have options. It's hard, it's really hard to imagine something you can't see and you don't really have a true answer on. So it's hard to imagine, oh, okay, I actually can find all of the things I'm looking for. And I think that as I'm, really leaning into my lover girl era, I'm just learning, dating is fun. Dating should be fun. It can be, this is the beginning of a journey, but it's fun to learn about yourself and walk away. Literally walk away when it doesn't feel right. That's something I've never really had a problem with, is walking away. And sometimes, it's like, oh, you can't walk away from your problem, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this isn't a me problem. This is an us problem. We're not compatible. And I've been told by men that I've I guess dated, that I just walk away from problems and challenges and don't talk things out. And that can be partially true, but I also feel like this should kind of be the honeymoon stage. What are we talking out? It seems as though we are not aligned, so it's time to go. It is time to go. Now, I also recognize, though, that was in my youths. It was in my 20s. Now I'm in my 30s dating differently. But I still have that mindset. Like, when it's time to go, it's time to go. I have to trust that my person is out there and my person performs and, responds and acts a certain way. My person's not going to have me questioning a lot. We're not going to be, misaligned or unaligned on that much. There aren't going to be these crazy flags that I need to figure out and talk out, because I also don't really want to give you the cheat code. Like, I want you to really show up as organically you as possible so that I have an educated decision on what I want to do. Like, I want to know that we're in this together because we know each other. And it's not just a convenience thing. I don't want to waste my time being conveniently in something that's not for me. Like, I'm doing this for life. So yeah, dating people and figuring out, who your person is through the wrong people also is important, because then you learn certain things you like and you don't like. But if I really know you're the wrong person and you're not fun, then you're really kind of a waste of time. And I'm not going to see this through. I don't want to work on it. That's always kind of been my stance. Like, work on it for what? It depends on what exactly we're working on. Like, I don't really want to work through core values that we don't see eye to eye on. Especially if you are a not fun person. I'm just going to go ahead and walk away. It might take a couple times to really get gone because you like the person and you fall into that convenient trap. But yeah, I'm just not feeling it. And lessons are learned from some of these reality shows, When you don't really want something and need something out of desperation, I feel like you really take life in your hands a little bit better. Like, you're really being selective, for real. And not just like low-hanging fruit and you're selecting from the other low-hanging fruit, but I don't want anything else. And I was talking to my friend yesterday, and it was just really nice to catch up and briefly talk about, the dating stages, and get his perspective as a man too. It's always good. I always value my male friends and all of my friends, but I value the perspective that they have too, because sometimes, I am a girl. I get really starry-eyed in moments. I can get a little emotional, even though he and some others are like, you're not a typical girl, Joy. You're not as emotional and you're more logical, blah, blah, blah. And I'm always like, that's really offensive because I am a typical lady. But, I understand what you're kind of trying to say. And fine, like, I hear you, I see you, whatever. And so we were talking just about where we are, and he's like, how's dating, how's life? I wasn't really gonna say anything because I don't want to, I don't know, I'm still kind of in the stage of like, all right, don't overdo it, don't overshare, because you don't know, this could literally be a phase that you're in with, certain people, and I don't want to get too in my head one way or the other about it. Because maybe if I keep saying, oh, I like this person, I think it's great, I might overlook things that I really shouldn't, just because I'm starry-eyed and I'm not paying attention to what's in front of me. And I don't think that that's the case, but I still have to be as mindful as possible. So he was asking me, and just listening to me, he was just like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. It sounds like you sound just happy and giddy, and it's not just like he's making you this way. And I really, really like that he said that, because that's how I feel. And I was telling him, I was like, yes, exactly. It's not even just a him thing or a them thing. It's really just him. It's a me thing. Like, I feel so at peace with, and I think I will attribute this to him as well, because I feel like I can date and be just open and honest and authentically me without the pressure of necessity and desperation. Like, I have him, so if I find someone else, which I'm not looking for at all, then it's probably because we really align. Because again, I'm not really looking for it, which I hear is the best way to go. But anyways, my friend was just telling me that, like, he could hear the confidence in me. And I'm not a not confident person necessarily, but I don't really talk about love and dating like that. Like, my friends don't know me to be such a lover girl. And so him hearing me just express this journey that I'm on in this phase of just loving the process really, spoke to him a little bit, I guess, and really impressed him. Like, it's good to really have, it's good to have boundaries. And I think he was also seeing that in me, that I'm not just out here dating people just to say I'm dating or just because I need someone. I've never been that person that's like, I need a boyfriend, I gotta have a boyfriend, whatever. Never. And I've noticed that a lot of men have very strong boundaries, because they are like, I don't really need a girlfriend, but like, if I like you, cool, great, what's up? Which is a little different than what I hear from a lot more women, that, I know we are willing to compromise way more than men are, because I don't know, I think as a collective operate from that scarcity mindset, especially at my age. A lot more women are just kind of like, well, he has this quality, and I'm like, as soon as you hear that, well, you probably just don't even really need to deal with it. Like, of course you can learn to love this, you can, like, be okay with this, but at what end? Like, why put yourself through this stage of, like, of doubt and continue to go into the situationship? Because that's really what it comes down to. You don't really like this person, he's kind of mean. I mean, we've all been there for sure. I absolutely have too. And it's like, well, maybe this is what I need. Like, nah. No. I am no longer doing that. And I know I talked about this on one of my episodes, that I just really love, and I actually was talking to my man friend about this. I love how men will stand like 10 toes down on something that they're not okay with, and they are less inclined to, not less inclined to lie, because that's not true, but that if they have a boundary, that's it. It's like, oh, you did this to me? Cool. And the woman's like, but you've been doing it to me. It's like, maybe you don't have that boundary, but I do. And I like that. And that's what I want. And that's what I think you get when you're not desperate for love. When you're not desperate to receive whatever it is. You know, again, like with work. If your boundary is a certain pay, a certain title, whatever, and you already have a job, you're like, oh, no, I'm not going to take it. And 9 times out of 10, you'll probably get it anyways. You'll get what you ask for because if they're offering the job to you, they want you. So it's like, all right, maybe we can move some money around. But I've just seen a lot of women compromise on things. And I'm just looking, and it's no judgment, of course, for me, because I've compromised on, oh my God, so much. But I also compromised on a lot because I just didn't feel like I had real defined boundaries. It was just like, I don't know, I guess we'll see. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I came, I saw, I did not conquer. So going forward, I know that I don't want this. And I like that I'm establishing boundaries now based off of experiences and not just like, oh, I heard that you're not supposed to do X, Y, and Z. It's no, I did that, didn't work. So now I am looking for something else and I'm not looking. And I think that's really what it comes down to with finding someone or having the freedom in dating once you have a significant other, because you're not looking for it. You're just receiving whatever it is your boundaries allow you to receive. And if somebody comes in and it's like, wow, I really was not looking for anything, but you just swept me off my feet because you are providing me with things so naturally that I didn't ask you to do. Like, I'm not asking you to show up for me in these ways because, you know, I think that people fall into that when they're in relationships. You start telling the person what you want them to do, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know that that's something I ever want to do. Like, I think it really depends on the situation. Like, if you ask me a direct question, it's like, all right, do you like color versus smell, like in flowers? Then I'll tell you. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh no, I can't tell you, that's the cheat code. It's like, no, this is what I like, but I'm happy that you're asking me. But I think that it goes beyond that a lot of time in relationships, like where you're literally telling someone how to behave. And that's just not, I don't think that that's sustainable. Now, I'm unmarried, I'm pretty single, but it just doesn't feel right to me. I don't want to build my husband. I want him to be already built and packaged and just delivered. And we'll work on, you know, whatever it is that we need to work on for family, and just refinement. But I don't want to build you. And I don't want you to build me. I don't want you to tell me how to be, you know, somebody that you like. Because if I'm not naturally that, then guess what? When we don't like each other or we're not in this like honeymoon stage, you're probably not going to get the things because I'm not naturally that person. So I'm not going to show up with, you know, dinner ready or whatever it is. Now, I will say though also that I'm realizing that I am naturally comforting and domestic with certain people. It's not a natural thing for me where I just like, anytime anyone's at my house, I just cook them this, cook them that. Like, I never like people coming over and them being hungry. I think that's like the craziest thing ever. Doesn't mean there haven't been hungry people at my house, but I don't like it. I will offer you something, whether you want to eat that or not, but it's just like, let's do something, let's go somewhere, where, whatever. But yeah, it's just like, I just love seeing how I show up with people that I'm interested in. It's like, who knew I'm kind of girly and soft and a marshmallow? Who knew? I didn't know. Nobody knew. And even though I am not in a relationship right now, I just don't feel desperate for one. Even though very recently, I wouldn't say I was desperate at all, but I was just more kind of looking or open, and I'm still open for sure, but I'm like, I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. And if it really is husband hunting season. So best time to husband hunt, because this is a husband. So like, you cannot be desperate for a husband. Like, maybe if you really just want a boyfriend, fine, you can get one and you're like, you don't really care, whatever, you just want somebody for the holiday season and whatnot. But when it comes to a husband, I'm not playing. Like, you're gonna be the father of my however many children. You need to show up. You need boundaries, Like, I wouldn't want somebody that's just willing to put up with anything because they just want to be married. Like, I don't want to be a placeholder, If you have a boundary that I've crossed, that's a non-negotiable for you, and not even a boundary I've crossed, but we just realize, oh, I can't, marry somebody that thinks like you, and this is a core value of mine, don't marry me. Please, do not marry me, because I'm not changing. Like, imagine I tell someone, I don't want kids, and they think I'll change my mind. No. So I know people like that. I dated someone like that had an ex has an ex that didn't want kids, and he thought she was just going to change her mind and married her still. And I'm like, Delulu runs in the men too. You're like, all her friends changed their mind. Okay. And your point is? It's like, don't just be out here marrying people for nothing. If I'm marrying you, we're going through it. It's literally for better or for worse now, because I've vetted you to the point of marriage. I have that trust for you. If you break it, that's your life right there, buddy. I think everyone, maybe what people should do is actually just get a little boyfriend. Get a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you kind of like, that's cool or whatever, and still be open. Because yeah, you're not single, but if you find somebody and you're vibing, like, don't cheat, but be open. It's like, you know what? Wow, I actually found somebody that aligns with certain things that my current partner doesn't have. Maybe I should break up with my partner and date this person, or just break up, because now you know that what you really want is out there. I don't know how to do that seamlessly and respectfully, but I'm sure there's a way. Like maybe just date the person. Don't even make that person your significant other. Just date for as long as you guys are both willing to date without exclusivity or a title, because you know it's kind of like I'm not even tripping about a title at all. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can be your girlfriend. You know, don't care. And I think that's really the cheat code, is do not care. And it's hard to care when you need something, or it's hard to not care. It's hard to just, I don't care when you don't have something. And it's easy to say like, oh, just love yourself, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I love myself, but I also want the love of a man. So go get that. Go just find people, and the dating apps don't really work for me. It's just very hard to have any kind of connection for me unless we are in person. So however you need to find just like kind of a placeholder, I think do that, because you don't want your husband or your wife, you don't want your spouse to be your placeholder. I think a little boyfriend, I mean, it's hard to say though, because it's like, yeah, you're dating intentionally, but maybe for like 6 months or a year, just kind of date for fun. Dating should be fun anyways. So just date for fun, and don't see them as a placeholder, but just see it as like, okay, you don't have to be perfect. You can't have like crazy flags, like that's not gonna work for me, but I just need to not feel like desperate during this time of dating where I'm lying to you because I don't want you to leave, or you know, I'm not showing you my true self, or not really communicating, I'm not being like, you know, authentic. Like I want my person to see me in a similar light that my friends do. You know, I want to have a friend connection also where you can see the real me. Like I don't want my friends to be like, oh, she's not like this. I mean, and my friends aren't going to see all the sides that my partner's going to see, because there's a difference between platonic and romantic. But I mean, I don't want to be like a different person. It's like, oh, she doesn't do that, she doesn't like that. Like I'm not lying about simple things or really anything. Like you're also going to know that I don't like these types of movies. I don't care if you do. Like we can watch it, but I don't like it. And I'm gonna let you know. But quick update on my love life. It's been 2 weeks, just about, actually, which is crazy. That I've been, I guess, talking to this one man, and it feels like we've been talking for longer, and it's just really nice to not have any pressure. Like I really don't care about anything. Like I care about flags, and I haven't really seen any for me at all. Not because he's a perfect person at all, but I just really like him. And like there are no like personality compatibility flags, where in the past I've always had no, I like him, you know, like no, I'm excited about him. Actually, I'm excited to like date him and figure him out and learn about him continually and just not rush anything. I don't think either one of us wants to rush anything. We're taking baby steps, and I really like that. Like, I love that he said that. I actually really love that, because I don't want you rushing into anything with me. Like, I want you to also make an educated guess, not a guess, but like an informed decision on why you want to be with me. It's not just because you think I'm pretty or smart or funny or whatever it is you think about me. It's because you know something about me. Like, you know who I am as a person as much as possible, you know? And we'll see what happens. Like, I'm really excited to see how this unfolds. And it's just so crazy that I feel very, like, just comfortable and settled with him. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking for a title at all. And it's not because I don't want one. It's just like, we'll get wherever we need to get, whenever we need to get there. So, yeah, if you ask me, you know, something, I will answer. We'll have a conversation. But let's not rush it. And again, it's only been 2 weeks, so it's like, yeah. Of course, you have time. And I'm like, what is it going to feel like in 2 months if this is 2 weeks? And I'm like, obsessed. I'm not obsessed, but I like where I'm at. So, but until next time, I will see you back in the girls' room.